Actually, did you see? I'm assuming you saw that guy who's going around now, the Haaland guy.
The Haaland guy? I don't know if I have.
Who predicted that Haaland wouldn't score?
I did see that guy.
Yeah. I mean, what else would I possibly have meant by the Haaland guy?
Yeah. I thought there was some guy dressed like Haaland, maybe. But yeah, I did see that guy.
Erling Haaland will not live up to the expectation. I am so bored.
Why won't he?
Because he isn't the player that everybody thinks he is. People are saying that he's going to win the Golden Boot. That is outrageous. It's so disrespectful to the establishment.
Why is that outrageous?
It's so disrespectful to the establishment.
Being the City striker.
The Mo Salahs of the world, the Harry Kanes of the world, the Heung-min Sons of the world. Give them the respect to turn up in a new league and win the Golden Boot. That would be a ridiculous achievement, and he isn't going to do it. He's profligate. He's very profligate. He's wasteful in front of goal at times. His build-up play isn't good enough at the moment. His build-up play isn't good enough at the moment to play in a City team. Same thing though. Will he score goals? Yes.
How many goals is success? We are arguing the same thing. I'll tell you what, Rory,
not.
He's going to be the Golden Boot winner. He's going to prove you wrong.
Okay, I will take that bet.
How many goals is he going to score this season?
I think he'll do really well to score. If he scores 15, it would be a really good season for him.
Yeah. I mean, that was out obviously before the season started.
Yeah,
he was predicting it. I've seen that a few times, like here and there. But people are really pouncing on it now because it's gone over the 15 goals he predicted in 8 games. But like I said, I saw that and I didn't want to kind of punch down. I was like, well, he's probably just like one of us. He's like just a guy with the podcast. But then I saw Sky Sports sharing it because he was on a show that they were doing at the start of the season, where like kind of YouTubers and like they had like people would come on and give their hot takes. So I mean, that's fair game. That's punching up Sky Sports, isn't it?
That'd be like us going on Sky Sports.
Yeah. What an idiot.
You know who never doubted Haaland? I think in like episode 3 or 4 we were banging on about Haaland, because remember we were saying like our super hot take that the whole world had of like he's new Ronaldo and Mbappe is new Messi.
Yeah,
That's exactly what's happened.
That was an original thought. We got there independently.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't an original thing that no one else was saying, but we did think that ourselves because we don't watch a lot of football, to be honest.
I definitely don't watch like other people talk about football, especially just dudes.
No, fucking hell. Imagine listening to a podcast about dudes. Oh, wait, hang on. Cut that.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
Nothing to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a No Nonsense podcast with Cathal and Will. A little bit later this week, tends to happen when you get hammered. Tough to get this fella on the mic. Am I right, Will?
Yeah.
Huh?
Because my phone was ringing off the hook. Where are you? We need to do the podcast. I said, not today.
I think I did have a prediction in the last episode. I think I said 4-1.
Yeah, a hammering basically.
That was worse actually than what happened. Only a 3-goal deficit technically.
Yeah, and it was a weird. I've never seen United concede 6 goals and think that's all right, like I did in that game. It didn't feel like it was United's fault too much. It's just like, well, what are you going to do? They're unbelievable. Yeah,
which is a diehard Man United fan would be furious by that realization that that's how far you've fallen. Like, hey, that wasn't that bad actually.
We scored 3 goals.
Yeah, they did score 3 goals. It was actually the best goal I think of the day. My golden Lukaku nominee Anthony. Again, we get so much wrong in this show. That was like a twofer because I was like, Anthony, he's not going to do anything. That was only his second game. I was like, yeah, I haven't even seen him play. That was actually his second game since the Arsenal game. Was he injured or was he just?
No, I think he's just kind of like feel like easing into the team.
He heard the podcast and oh fuck, golden Lukaku, that's not good.
I better score quick. I'm definitely doing better than Darwin Núñez though, at least.
Well, he like obviously he I don't think he played great, but it was a great goal. But also, it was exactly the goal I said last week you never seen anymore. Like just bolt from the blue, bit of brilliance, get the ball from outside the box. it was in a way it was the perfect game to score it in, because City were the total opposite. It was totally like run, cut it back, Haaland. Like two of those goals were like carbon copies of each other. Foden and Haaland just like sweeping it in from a cutback.
I've noticed. I think I might have been City's fourth goal, but one of them where it was like an unbelievable ball from De Bruyne, and Haaland just slid and barely reached it.
Oh yeah.
But that's the type of goal that City like. That's the type of attack City, and you always see in football. But it's like, oh, if only he was a bit further ahead. It doesn't matter with Haaland because he's so long, and he's amazing. He's like the ultimate player to be playing for City. We didn't realise the length affects the tap-ins so much. That's what they needed.
That was crazy. That was a crazy goal, and the slow-mo of Varane like slowly turning, going, well, no one's getting that. That's going to be on me. Like. He was in the perfect position. You couldn't have been further. If he'd gone any further forward, he would have played behind him. Like, obviously, unbelievable ball from
De Bruyne.
From De Bruyne to even get around him.
Yeah.
But then, like I say, that ball, just beyond him.
Yeah. That's the type of ball you see and you're like, wow, what a player De Bruyne is. If only the other players...
He could have gotten into that, you know? And then you see Haaland drop kicking the ball, like, while sliding. It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And what's funny is, Will, I had this take all prepared because I thought, yeah, they'll win, Haaland will score. And then I was going to hit them with this take of like, you know what? Lukaku could have done the same thing. But then I saw that goal.
No chance. No chance.
No one, Benzema, Lewandowski, no one's doing that.
No, he's amazing.
No one has that kind of athleticism, that coordination. Or the goal he swept in was a joke as well. I mean, the speed, like... The whole thing was an absolute joke. And then he had 2 assists as well. Like,
I don't know if it's just like recency bias or if it's just like how far like the athleticism has come, but it genuinely feels like every time I watch him, like he is the best player I've ever seen in my life already. Like even more so than I thought with Messi or Ronaldo. He's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, like you say, I mean, I think the whole Lukaku Chelsea thing, it's very clear that Tuchel doesn't get on well with people when he doesn't get his way. He probably never wanted Lukaku, and at times they score goals, but he didn't set up the way to get the ball to Lukaku and Lukaku score. Whereas City are doing that for Haaland. But even still, I mean, I think Lukaku would have done better at a team where it was suited to him. But I mean, just it's maybe not even the best player I've ever seen, but just I've never seen a player like that.
Yeah, no, where he's just so like consistent at doing stuff that other players can't do. Yeah,
like Ibrahimovic was like that, a bit different though. All the same, he had more kind of like weird flicks.
Yeah.
You know, for like such a crazy, you know, professional athlete who's like still in ridiculous shape, still playing at 40, he had a lot of kind of like cool things he used to do, like for no reason. Yeah. But then also like, I want to win, and you know, I'm a crazy person. But then you know, watch this flick. Haaland just seems like I want to score every single goal that's ever been scored. You know, it's like.
Did you see the interview with him where he was talking about? I don't know what game it was. It's like 2 or 3 games ago. He got interviewed and he said he had scored 2 in that game, and I think he'd only had 2 touches or 3 touches. And the interviewer was like, asking him about it, and he was like, "My dream is to score 6 with 6 touches." He fucking nearly did it.
Yeah. Well, I think 5 or 5 touches, and then he scored 3 goals and 2 assists. I was like, well, nearly. Nearly.
Like, and that was 2 weeks later, like his ultimate dream in football.
Yeah, I think he was taking the piss because, like, you know, at the time he scored whatever, he scored 15 goals now,
something like that. Yeah.
So at the time he scored 12 goals in 7 games, and people are like, you didn't touch the ball a lot there. Like, man,
shut up.
Yeah, I think it was back during Ronaldo's peak as well. There was a bit of that as well. It was like, he's a goal machine but doesn't do anything else. I was like, he's a goal machine, you say? Yeah. Like now it's like, okay, well, that doesn't fly Ronaldo because he's only scoring 25 goals. But back when he's scoring 45 goals and not tracking back, but like, I think we can manage the other 10 players to cover him if he's scoring, you know, 45 goals a season. Haaland's the same thing now, where it's like, yeah, but does he fit the system? It's like, he scored 15 goals in 8 games. Like, he is the system.
Yeah, who cares after that point? Like, even if he like not winds down, but if like he can't stay this consistent, if he's scores half as many goals the rest of the season, comfortably golden boot.
He's almost beaten Patrick Bamford's goal contribution when I was on air pleading with him to declare for Ireland.
Imagine Haaland playing for Ireland.
I will say now, Bamford has 11 assists, so you got to up those assists, up those rookie numbers, Erling, because Bamford has you beat there. But I mean, goals, all you do is 2 more to get Bamford's best every year in the Premier League.
That's fucking. There's so many players like that he's just blasted by. He's got 3 hat tricks already.
He's definitely going to beat his dad's entire career record this year,
easily. Did you see? Apparently. The way they do like the interviews on the pitch now, like for Roy Keane and all that. Sometimes they apparently Haaland's dad was near Keane, and I don't know if it was Sky or a different company tried to set up an interview, and both Keane and Haaland were like, no fucking chance. Like they hate each other. Obviously, it's like they can't push it as this like, oh, remember back in the day you tried to break his leg.
Yeah, well, it's not like a Neville and Carragher old rivalry, whereas like there's a mutual respect. It's like there wasn't really a rivalry. There's one time where he tried to break my leg because he said something in the previous game. When he did his cruciate and he said something like "Get up, stop diving."
Get up. And that was like years before it. And
2 years later, he went lying in ways. That wasn't really a rivalry. That was like an assault and a provoked assault.
Really dark moment in the game, and Sky are like, "Get them on telly."
Yeah, well, boys, how's it feel to be back after all these years?
The 2 of them and Mika Richards.
Mika Richards burst out laughing for no reason.
Yeah. Well, it was a game. You had mentioned there about Ronaldo being a goal machine. 2 other men who think Ronaldo's a goal machine and that it was a disgrace on the bench. Rio and Roy Keane both said the same thing.
You can't have your top goal scorer, right, who gets 24 or 5 goals a season on the bench. I'm sorry. I don't. And people keep talking about, I see Roy Keane talk about it and I totally agree. Why are we so concerned with what people don't do all the time? What's he good at? The hardest thing to do in football is score goals. Mm-hmm. And this guy does it as good, if not better than anybody.
You don't hold on to Ronaldo to sit on the bench. He's one of the greatest players ever. He had options. This idea that he'd no options is rubbish. He did have options, 4 or 5 very good options to keep him. Okay, today the manager, he brought Martial and he scored 2, so yeah, that's justified. But generally speaking, the bigger picture, he's not going to play Ronaldo. We know that. He's played in 1 or 2 European games. It's just going to get uglier as the season goes on. Okay, Ronaldo's motivated with the World Cup coming up, and you hope. But if he's sitting on the bench for Man United week in, week out, it's not good. It's just going to get ugly. And I think United have shown nothing but disrespect to Ronaldo. They should have let him go when the opportunity came. And as I said, he did have options to go. I know that for a fact. And holding him onto him to sit on the bench, I think it's ridiculous for a player of his stature, Man United, to just keep. Even today, could he have brought him on? Of course he could have brought him on. So what if you're 4-0 down? You look at his goals record. It's as good a chance of anyone putting the ball in the back of the net. People are obsessed with the pressing side of the game.
I mean, it was the midfield and it was the defence and it was Erling Haaland, who I'd say people are saying he's going to be the difference when it comes to big Champions League games. Man United obviously way off that as a team. Ronaldo playing or not playing, it's not really the point at all. The most interesting that Keane said was that he reckoned that United could have sold him and that they wanted to keep him. Yeah. Which everything we had heard and read in terms of headlines of articles I didn't actually read was that there was nowhere to go. That he tried everywhere. They shopped him to everyone from Inter Milan to Anzi Makalala, and it was like no space for Ronaldo. Not worth this. Doesn't track back. But now it's come out. Well, whatever. I have my sources. Keane has his sources with United. Yeah. Whoever you want to trust, but he seems pretty convinced that it was like that United had screwed this guy over. That he deserved more than that in the game.
But like he has a contract with United. He plays for United. Like, why would United do him a favour? Like they needed a player if that was the case, and they were like, well, actually, he might still he scored 20-something goals last season. No reason he couldn't do it again this year.
I'll remind you, Will, he was their top scorer last season.
Yeah, like comfortably. He scored 2 hat-tricks in 2 games at one point.
That was Keane's main point. That who was our top scorer last year then? Who's the top scorer then? Who's the top scorer? Who's the top scorer? Who's the top scorer? It's like barking at Mika Richards.
But why would they get rid of him then? It doesn't make sense.
Well, if you're not going to play him in the derby games, I think was Keane's point.
Yeah. But then he didn't do the preseason as well. Like you can't just do whatever he wants because he's Ronaldo. Like.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that watching
again. It was such a red herring. It was like, what about McTominay? Like, Is McSauce the answer still? You know, like people are kind of like, but
Casemiro's way worse.
Well, yeah, that's I suppose kind of the same thing. Is like, look, everyone and their mother knew that he wanted Frankie de Jong.
Yeah,
and everyone wanted him to go to Man United except for, crucially, Frankie de Jong.
Yeah,
and then they went, right, well, what about someone else from Spain who's also pretty good? Casemiro went, well, not really. And they went, well, he's going to come anyways, so, you know, because
we need someone to walk around the pitch tomorrow. It has to be.
We got to save face. We can't have nobody coming in, so you're going to get Casemiro. He went, I don't care. And he's you know, persisted with Fred. Well, look, I guess from Ten Hag's point of view, it's like, well, this guy is yesterday's man. You know, I'm not going to build a team around him the next 4 to 5 years, which I guess is probably his mind. So it's like, well, why am I playing him today? What's the point? You know.
He talked about Casemiro in the interview. He said, it's not a case of me not liking Casemiro. It's a case of me liking McTominay. Like, since Casemiro's been in, McTominay's been good. So he's like, I'm not just going to drop him because I bought him. Like, that defeats the whole purpose. Then, like, because then McTominay is going to be pissed off, and then now you have two problems.
Yeah, well, I suppose that the real thing is that people don't really rate McTominay. It's like, you got Casemiro on the bench. Why are you playing McTominay? Why are you playing Fred? I want to grab him. I say, why aren't you playing Casemiro? I don't know. It's just it's again the Ronaldo thing that we shouldn't even talk about too much because like it's so like it's just, you know. I mean, we do.
This might be the saddest end to well, not end. I'm sure he has a few years left, but the saddest way to go, I think, for like the all-time great footballer or an all-time great footballer. Pundits arguing about you shouldn't be on the bench when the fans of the club are like, yeah, you should.
Yeah, it's just it's not the main problem.
No, they conceded 6 goals.
Conceded 6 goals, and City were just unbelievable.
At one point, Martin Tyler said, "When do you ever see football like this?"
Yeah. No, it was. You know, it's not like United aren't going well, or the bottom team. Like maybe a few weeks ago, you said, yeah, that's what happens, and a really good team plays a really bad team. This is a team who are like going high. You know, people were being quietly confident this game, saying they have a good record against Pep. You know, will catch you on the break. They won't be able for that, and it was just like total. The first half. Like early on, where they were queuing up, like lashing the ball off defenders. I was like, Jesus Christ, this is gonna be. They were just queued up like in school, just like lashing off the defenders.
They're like the bad guys in dodgeball,
and it just kind of continued on like that. And then I will say that penalty was bullshit too, the Martial penalty.
Yeah, I was more like a favour. Like, come on.
Extremely soft. The only thing is, though, I think the ref heard them ironically cheering the second goal, which I thought, I've never seen that before. I've never seen someone ironically cheering a goal.
Scored 2, well done.
Like, oh, hey, you scored another one, fair play to you. And I was like, oh, that's not nice.
Yeah, that's mean.
That's not very nice at all.
Mean
now.
spirit.
I mean, yeah, definitely ironically cheer, like, freeze that I give, or, you know, call me a wanker, but don't ironically cheer the team. These guys are professionals, okay? They don't deserve this.
Martial's on the ground.
Yeah. It was a good struck penalty, though. Very good finish of penalty.
I thought Martial was actually quite good when he came on, but he hasn't been fit at all. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it seems like every time he's about to get a run of games this season, he's gone again.
The main thing, though, the craziest thing, I suppose, like all this kind of record breaking that we were like envisaging City doing, and like Haaland's going to, you know, break all these records, and City are just unbelievable. They're a day late and $1 short. Arsenal on top, and they're going nowhere. Will. Sorry, guys. You lost me games at the beginning, lads. Arsenal aren't going anywhere. So, yeah, enjoy your record-breaking second place because Arsenal are top forever. That's right. They beat Tottenham in the derby, which is always an indication of absolutely nothing.
Yeah. I think more than any other game, that game is...
It's crazy.
It's insane. Always a red card, always like 3-1, 4-1, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I saw like Arsenal on the brink of like, are they finished as the top club, and then they beat Tottenham 5-2, and like Tottenham would be going the other way, and then equally in the old White Hart Lane, they used to get some crazy good results.
From old
there.
Spurs.
Just like, you know, Harry Kane would score absolute screamers, 5 or 6 years ago in White Hart Lane, but then they go to the Emirates and it would just be overwhelmed by it. And then they go and beat City next week. You know, I was like, what is happening with this fixture?
We always say, like, the strangest thing is that, like why does Richarlison, why is he overawed by the North London derby? Like, it's nothing to do with him. He's been here a few weeks.
Yeah, a Brazilian guy who played for Everton for a few years, and I was like, I fucking hate Arsenal so much. Like, what?
Well, Emerson Royal tried to murder a man.
I was filled. I was absolutely filled.
I don't know if you saw the Instagram post he put up before the game.
Oh no.
Of I've never seen this before. You know the way sometimes they'll put up, like, teams will have like a picture of a player like posing beside the lineup as like a nice little graphic. There was one of them, but on Emerson Royal's story, it was a video of him standing beside the lineup and dancing like real happily with a big smile on his face, just an hour before kicking a man in the leg and getting sent off.
He posted that.
Yeah, it was on his story.
I saw that. I was like, what is that from? What weird Jed Spence promotional shoot is that from? And I didn't know he posted that himself.
Well, no, I'm assuming Spurs made it, and they're like, here's all your videos, players.
Oh yeah, of course. But I wouldn't thought that he posted.
Why would you post? That's obviously, like, that could so easily go wrong. Even if they just lose and he doesn't get sent off, it's like you're dancing in front of the game you lost, basically.
No, that was weird. That was very, very strange. Definitely no one asked him to dance too. That was his own choice, 100%.
Yeah. He's a funny character.
So maybe the result doesn't matter, Will, but it's better to win it than to lose it. Especially when you're get eyes on the title. Like Arsenal definitely do. It started off kind of like even enough. Arsenal got that first goal, Partey with an absolute screamer. A staple of the defensive midfielder to score an absolutely disgusting goal. It's like, how can he do that? And he's a defensive midfielder. But
do you think they train that, or they're just really good at lashing the ball? They don't really. It just like look.
I don't know. It doesn't look like a shooting drill. Maybe it does look like a shooting drill. You know, you see them sometimes at like international breaks. To see the kind of highlights on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah. Famously, do you remember? Who was it? Was it Macedonia running around with cones on their heads for their video?
Yeah.
Germany or someone were just like lashing them top bins.
Yeah. The more I think about it, well, that was a shooting drill. That was a real kind of shooting drill. Like, because he was like set. It's like, yeah, I'm here. Back, cut it back to me, and I'll just like hit a top corner. But like I say, it's not like I was saying last week about those out of date long range shots from outside the box. That we've seen two of.
Everything from last week. Just ignore everything we said.
That's a good rule of thumb on every episode, to be honest. But
pretend every episode is just brand new, clean slate of opinions.
But like that wasn't like you never see Partey doing that every game and missing. Do you know what I mean? You don't see him missing 60% of those. The defensive midfielder long range strike always goes in. They always seem to have that in their locker. I'll pull this out for when we really need it. When we're 0-0 and we need to kind of settle the nerves, I'll lash this in the top corner. You see. But then of course Richarlison got the penalty. I guess he won the penalty, Will, did he? I guess he earned that penalty somehow.
That's what the game's all about.
Well, thankfully Harry Kane was there to do what he does best: score goals. Some of them from penalties, some of them not. I'm not saying he doesn't score a lot of goals. He always likes to take that out in the air, but Harry Kane's a lot of skills, leadership.
Yeah. He's good at lots of stuff.
Diving, stuff like that. He's really good at that.
Yeah.
He's actually had a pretty good season so far. If it wasn't for Erling Haaland like doubling what his tally,
this is the thing.
It would be
every player in the Premier League seems shit to me now because Haaland is just scoring 4 goals every game for fun. It's just, you can't, like, who cares if Kane scored 8 goals or something?
Yeah. No, honestly, I think it was like back when Messi and Ronaldo were like having their battle of the death in the Liga, and they'd score like 2 goals every game. Like Benzema and Alexis Sanchez would be scoring a goal every game or a goal every second game, and no one talked about them because it was like, relatively it's kind of shit, to be honest. I mean, a guy in your team is doing much better than you. But yeah, from then it was time for Emerson Royal, as we may have mentioned. I don't know.
A mad decision.
One of those ones where the commentator likes to say he was going nowhere. No need to foul him there.
And normally when that happens, it's like a foul. This was like No need to red card tackle him there. Definitely.
No need to injure him then and there.
Trip him up. Don't kick him in the knee.
Yeah, it was a crazy one. From the dancing Emerson Royal.
I'm sure he'll be right back into the squad as soon as the ban is up.
It was like, you know, the whole thing of like Spurs, you know, Spursing it up. You know, they gone 2-1 down. Leach let in that howler underneath his body, which, I mean, you know, I say howler, you know, it's not great, but it can happen. But then, you know, you settle nerves, you get back in the game. You know, we scored again. You know, or we scored before, we could do it again. This is Arsenal, not Man City, right? This is Man City light. You know, Man City 0. Yeah. Okay, let's not get carried away here. But then Emerson Royal just, for absolutely no reason, stands on Martinelli's ankle, straight red.
I think so, yeah.
And from there, you know, Xhaka scores a goal. I mean, come on. The guy who...
yeah, that's game over.
The guy who shipped from the captaincy twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's insane. I know people are saying like what a comeback for him and that like he's really turned it around.
Yeah,
I think they forget what he's turned it around from. Remember, he was like flipping off the fans and telling them to go fuck themselves. How he ever came back from that is insane.
I know. I mean, like John Terry stripped captaincy for racism and adultery. Both alleged and both he denies. Nevertheless, there are serious allegations. This was just like, you're so shit and you're not humble enough. Take the captaincy off him. And now he's back, and it's like, yeah, he's scoring against Tottenham when they're 2-0, but watch him against Man City.
You're not falling for it.
No, not a chance. I've seen it so many times. Like, I've seen it, you know, years ago, and he's only gotten slower and, you know, less coy on the ball. He's still getting away. But last year he got sent off immediately, or handball, whatever the fuck he did last year.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's all good now and things going well, but I mean, he is just the exact kind of person who's going to fuck it up.
Yeah, it's going to come crumbling eventually.
And Xhaka will be the father of that demise, I tell you. That's it. That's, I know if it's an absolute is a bit vague, but you know, like, seriously, he
absolute Xhaka will be the founder of the demise.
Yeah, I don't know. Too long to put in the sticky, but
yeah.
But nevertheless, you know, Arsenal are flying high. They are looking like they're going to win the whole thing. Will, wouldn't you agree?
I wouldn't.
Oh, well, we'll see.
I wonder. Imagine a world where Haaland doesn't sign to City this year, but Arsenal are still going as good as they do. That is a much closer challenge. But it's just, what can you do?
Yeah, if ifs and buts were coconuts, Will. I mean, at the start of the season, Will, you and me and a lot of people are saying this could be Tottenham's year. They've got the best squad, the best manager they've had in a while. Certainly the most decorated manager. You know, Harry Kane's last chance, Son's last chance. But it's really not been going well for them at all.
No.
And I know I predicted Arsenal to win the league. As far as that goes, that was like, yeah, weird season. They don't have a deep squad. World Cup might happen. You never know. Yeah. That's it. That's as much research and thought. If you said to me that 8 games in, the only realistic threat to City would be Arsenal, I wouldn't have believed you. I was like, no, like, that's like how? Like, Liverpool aren't there, Chelsea aren't there. Like, it's mad that it seems like City are pulling away, and Arsenal are going to play the part of second place almost team.
Arsenal are playing Liverpool next. I can't remember the last time that game has mattered so much. Like, it seems like for like the last 3 or 4 years, that's like a routine hammering for Liverpool.
For Arsenal.
For Arsenal, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. It's been years now, probably 5 or 6 years since Arsenal got in favourites.
Yeah,
which I actually don't even know they are. To be honest, I'm assuming they are,
because there's still the case of you never, like, people are still like, well, it can't last forever, but it's 8 games. Like, that's a lot.
It's 8 games, but they haven't played anyone. They lost to United, which, like, if you want to say, Arteta's just like Pep. It's like, well, yeah, sure, but I mean, Arsenal are definitely not like City. Like, maybe similar styles, but like the players they have, like City destroyed United, and Arsenal fell right into their trap. So, I mean...
Yeah, the whole, like, counter-attack thing, Pep just immediately stopped it 2 minutes into the game, whereas Arsenal played the whole game. Like, why does this keep happening?
Every time
that would make me question Arsenal's chances in the league.
Look, I mean, like they say, that's why the City thing was so impressive, because it's not like a terribly nice team with like no quality at all. So the fact that they just destroyed them was like, Jesus, like this is unfair. But yeah, look, Arsenal, they beat Spurs at home. They'll obviously go on to lose to Spurs at some point during the season in the away leg.
Such is life.
But I mean, people say, I haven't played any real tests, and they lost United, and they'll probably lose the City twice. I mean, it's obviously if you have to win those games, that's fine. But I think it's always the squad that comes into it. It's like when you lose a game or you draw a game, you drop a couple of points, and then City go on and win, and now they're ahead by a point. Now you have to win the next game. That's the kind of psychological stuff that it's tough to manage if you haven't been there before. So look, I mean, we'll enjoy the Arsenal bandwagon as long as it goes. But I mean,
it's similar to last year, where at the start of the season, people were like, "Oh, it's a relegation battle for Arsenal," and then they barely missed out on fourth, and people were like, "Oh, bottled it, they lost out on fourth." Like they were never in for it. Now this season, similarly, I'm sure at the start of the season, fourth would be amazing for Arsenal to get, but if they come like second by like 10 points or something like that, people are going to be like, not miles off the top of the league. There won't be a mention of that they've blew past expectations already. Like,
well, that's it. Like if you look at most teams now, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, if you'd offer them third place now, 100% take it.
Yeah.
There's no aspirations beyond actually challenging City. Arsenal, there's a lot of deluded fans out there. A lot of people remember the Invincible still. It's a growing distant memory every day. But I mean, there's still people who think, we should be back at the top. But a lot of Arsenal fans, if you offer them third, they say, that's ours for sure.
Especially with all the players they brought in, and like they've bought pretty well. And then if they're in the Champions League, you can buy even better again. You can kind of step the level of player up because it's a project you can get behind.
What's the point though? Like really. I mean, you got Erling Haaland coming in.
Yeah, that's true.
Jack Grealish. I forgot to mention, but that's probably the best game I've ever seen Jack Grealish play for Man City.
Yeah,
you can't compete with that, man. No. You can't compete with that. Like
again, that's why losing the 6-3, I was like, that's fine.
You're not going to build towards anything. It's just it's totally pointless.
You're building towards hopefully scraping fourth every year.
You're building. Actually, you know what? The only hope we might have, I just come up with this theory just right now, is Haaland is so good, he scores 25 goals by the next 4 games, and then he gets injured or suspended or something. Injured. He has to be injured. He has to be gone for like 8 weeks, and then it's like, I have no idea what to do.
Yeah, what? Who do we hit it to now?
Because they don't have a Salman Rondon backup striker. They don't have room for that. They need more midfielders in there. So there's no one who's going to, or a Chuba Akpom. No, not Chuba Akpom. Chuba Moting. Chuba Motor.
Chopper Motor.
Chopper Motor, as Brian Kerr wants to call him. Chopper Motor to come in and just fill the boots of Lewandowski and fill the system. That's people's only hope. Look, we'll see how it goes, Arsenal. I still think it's going to be a crazy season. It's not going to be normal. And City rely too much on the hand already, I think.
Yeah.
It's
I'm with you. You've won me over.
I think that probably brings me on nicely, Will, to a very special episode of Top 5's Played Music.
Every week, I think maybe he hasn't done it this week. He's not ready for it.
What could I possibly be talking about from that Top 5s? That's what I want to know.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, well, this is actually a very special episode, Will, like I said. It's Top 5 Wills.
Oh, what a nice thing to do.
Yeah, watch the ego come out, folks. See, as soon as he hears his own name mentioned, he's like, I'm back on board.
Number 1, is it me?
I'm back on board. Number 1, Willie Ann.
Oh.
Yeah.
His name's not Will.
Former Chelsea great and Arsenal employee.
Is he playing for Fulham?
He is.
Was that ever confirmed?
Oh, it's confirmed. He's got an assist for
I've never seen him. No way, really?
He's got an assist. The thing about Willian is, and why he's number 1, is that he loves money.
Yeah, he sure does.
He was one of the first ever, not the first ever, but one of the earliest ones I can remember, way back in 2013, of a gazumping, a big gazumping. It was Liverpool had discovered him first. This is back when Liverpool were kind of a bit shit still.
Yeah.
And they were on the verge of coming second in the Premier League, but ultimately not winning it. And then Tottenham gazumped them. And then Chelsea gazumped Tottenham in a 3-way gazumping.
Classic gazump.
Now look, if he wanted to go to Liverpool or Tottenham, he could have just said, I don't want to go to Chelsea. Yeah. But he kept getting off more money.
The money went up. Who else?
Who else wants to get involved? Come on, Real Madrid, anybody? No. Oh, it's funny. Before that, he was at Shakhtar Donetsk. Remember, they had a whole Brazilian program there. They wanted only Brazilians.
Yeah,
and they got them really far in Champions League.
I think. But I don't know if was Fred a part of that or did he come in after, but as part of the same thing.
With that owner, loads Brazilian footballers, and that was his secret sauce. He's like, if I only buy Brazilians, I can't lose.
It's pretty clever.
I think they did pretty well in Ukraine. You know,
I saw them in the Champions League a lot.
That may have been because of their superior financial muscle.
Yeah, the ability to afford the Brazilians rather than the Brazilians.
Nevertheless, he was well reimbursed at Shakhtar Donetsk. But, Will, this might be a name you haven't heard in a while. Before he went to Chelsea, he was briefly at a club called Anzi Makalala.
I have not heard of that in a long time.
Remember, they were going to be the next super rich club. He went there very briefly before he went to Chelsea because, again, he loves a big move. But he's there for 6 months with, this is actually not worth the money. Yeah. See if I go somewhere else. Number 2 on the list of Wills in my life.
Here we go. Here it comes.
William Saliba.
Okay.
Yes. He's transformed Arsenal into a title-winning team. 8 games in, the league is wrapped up. Look, William Saliba, up-and-coming star of the Premier League, Will. Big battle coming between him and Erling Haaland later on in the year.
Yeah.
Only going to be one winner there. That's right, William Saliba. Number 2, Will. Number 3, Will.
I'll take it.
Willie Bolly.
Oh, okay. Willie Bolly is in your top 5 Wills.
Nottingham Forest's 100th signing.
Does he play for Nottingham Forest?
This window.
I didn't even know he was there. I forgot.
Nottingham Forest not doing too well this year, Will. Star of the Nottingham Forest team is number 3, Will. Number 4.
Pretty low, but it's alright, I suppose.
Willie Sagnol.
Fuck off. Are you joking?
What can be said about the former Bayern man, Will?
What could be said about him, Cathal?
He's played for Bayern Munich, that's for one.
Yeah, that's true.
Came there from Monaco for 7 million. Did you know that, Will?
I did not.
Pretty big fee back in the day.
What year was that?
Guess.
I have no idea.
2001. Is that current enough for you, Will? You were born this time, so Will Byrne, the centre, the protagonist of the footballing world. If you were born, so I guess it does mean it's relevant. He's a right back for Bayern Munich, won the league and the Champions League and the World Cup.
That's pretty
twice.
Fair. He came fourth.
No, not twice. He's only won twice, but he won it once. No, sorry, he didn't win it once.
He didn't win it at all.
No. I was looking at the Confederations Cup. He's won that twice.
It's pretty good too.
Guess he was on that 98 team. That's pretty. Must have been injured. And now,
here we go.
The number 5 Will that I know of.
Yeah. Oh, but here we go. Here it comes.
Willem Carvalho. Yeah. Portuguese player, 30 now, Will.
You're not even a cartoon
character. Did you know,
fish.
Will, that...
this is a joke.
This is a special episode for you because you always complain that the number 5 isn't even a footballer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You want it to be... You said, you can pick any you want. Why don't you just pick names of 5 footballers? Wouldn't that be really funny and cool for the segment that's basically a joke that it totally makes no sense? See? It's an episode for you, Will. Willem Carvalho. Plays football professionally. Play the music.
Top 5 is going to be our downfall.
That was a season finale top 5, right? You've put me off it, to be honest.
No
That's
way.
the end of it.
The fans are going to be fuming. I have never seen as much of a reaction as when you changed the order of the top 5, let alone get rid of it.
That's true. That's the most fan reaction we ever got. But you know what? I've fallen out in love with it. I've fallen out in love with the top fives, and it's your fault. So that's your top $11 US, $11 petrodollars on that team music for nothing. I'll tell you what, Will, it's cold and flu season. I'm coming down with something. My throat is tickling away at me.
We might need to play the old Coldplay audio bed.
I don't know. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, cold and flu season for sure. It's thanks to the drop in temperature, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
We had a really good summer, and the drop in temperature has just like sent me over the edge here. Real tickly throat. For any listeners out there, you get a cold or flu, don't be a hero. Don't go to work with the disease. Like, don't spare it in the office. You know, work from home. Yeah. Take a duvet day. Yeah. You know. What else do you have then, Will? What was any other?
Well, it's a special episode, as we mentioned. I don't even know if we've said it. It's the 100th episode, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it is the 100th episode. Yeah. But I feel we've done. We've had like 3 anniversaries of this show already.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I was going to make an audio bed of our best moments. We've literally done 2 of them already. We did a 50th episode. We shouldn't have done it there, definitely. I think we did a year anniversary. Yeah. One there, maybe. And then we did another one at the end of last season, which definitely shouldn't have done one there. We've used them all up. And we did a clip show as well. Yeah,
that's the thing. It's like, if the fans do it, if people were to externally congratulate us in some way, that would be fine. But when you do it yourself, it's like, all right, don't break ground and pat yourself on the back there, lads. But, I guess we'll have to wait for one day. Maybe that'll happen.
Well, Cathal, it's funny you should mention it. I was looking at the email on the phone, sifting through all the spam.
On the phone, yeah?
Yeah, on the phone. The email on the phone. Sifted through
on the phone, right?
Sifted through all the spam. Huggies, more spam.
Yeah.
Mortgage payments, all that stuff. And then, bing, got one. And from an anonymous listener. I've gone too far in the bit where I started talking about where it's going.
You threw in a complete lie of a humble brag that like of mortgage payments. You don't have a mortgage.
No, the mortgage payment spam.
Yeah, but like that to me just sounded like you were just like bragging about having a mortgage there for a second. It's like
our joint mortgage, the joint no-nonsense mortgage that we pay. I
haven't talked to Will in a week and he signs up for a mortgage. Fuck.
Never mind it. Here's a clip. We've finally got some feedback, some sent into us, not just comments this time. We've got
this isn't even feedback. This is a congratulatory. Look, the podcast has grown, much over the last.
All the listeners,
and we
I blew it
abroad. And this is just a little clip that they've made for us of all our fans.
All our fans sent us in congratulations. I should have said that. I don't know. I didn't just say that.
Mortgage payments.
It's Harry Maguire here. I just want to say a big thank you for all your support. I know you're big Manchester United fans. Keep improving, keep working hard, and hopefully one day I'm watching you on the TV. Good luck, guys.
Hi to the whole team. It's Michael Owen here. I hope you're all well. I know your aim is to foster a spirit of fun, wellness, togetherness and determination to a collective goal. But also, and very importantly, to contribute to it in a charitable way. So I just want to say good luck to everybody. You're doing a great job. And come home safely, and I'm sure you'll nail it. Take care and good luck.
Paul Merson here. Just keep the faith with the Arsenal. I'm sure it'll be a good season. Have a great life with the family. Hope everything works out well for you in Israel. Keep the faith with the Arsenal.
It's Emil Heskey here, and I hope you're still celebrating, as we all should still be. It was a great, memorable time for us. 30 years we waited. But finally we've got there. We're now European, World and Premier League champions. Keep celebrating, keep supporting the Reds.
From Fabrizio Romano, come stai? How are you? Hello from Italy. And of course, here we go from Fabrizio.
My name is David Hasselhoff and I would like to thank you both. You look like a Baywatch babe. You could have been a Baywatch babe on Baywatch. And you could still possibly be the new Michael Knight. One man can make a difference. Anyway, congratulations. Many, many happy returns from the Hoff.
Patrick Ewing Jr. here. I just wanted to reach out. Having that respect and that trust is big. And, we need more people who kids can feel like they can put their trust in. So,
hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and everybody that they love you and and they're just thinking about you, and they just want you to know this time in the world of all the uncertainty and all the difficulty out there today with the coronavirus and all the distancing, and it's a very challenging time. This is a very, very challenging time right now. We got to be very strict with each other about the social distancing and all that stuff. So just stay true to yourself, look after people, be kind to people. You are in life. You are the excellence of execution. And I promise you will see me again someday for sure, I promise. Because you are the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
This is the president, and this message is, and I've heard a lot about you, actually. Likes that no one's ever seen before.
This is Mike Tyson here. Listen up, you sap. You think you know what war is? You don't know shit. I know the type of person you are. If war came knocking on your door, you would hide like a little bitch. Go back to pillow fights with Ben. I will knock you the fuck out. So get it.
Wow. Mike Tyson got a bit aggressive there towards the end.
I don't know.
What did you say to him?
I don't know why he sent that in, to be honest. It doesn't seem like he's a fan of us. I hope Bret Hart's okay. He seems worried.
But Bret Hart, I hate when Bret Hart gets so political about COVID. I mean, come on. It's over, man. We beat it.
Yeah,
we beat COVID. Except this tick in my throat that won't go away. I'm totally fine.
Don't let Bret Hart hear about that.
Yeah, well, that brings a tear to my eye, Will. That kind of support.
You could have
been. Want to do 100 more.
You look like a Baywatch babe. You could have been a Baywatch babe in Baywatch.
What? Reading emails on your phone. I'll tell you what, Will. Yeah, very inspiring stuff there. I don't know. What do you have to say to? Who was that guy whispering? Who was the guy who kept going quieter? Something Junior.
It was Patrick Ewing Jr.
Oh, that was Patrick Ewing Jr.
Yeah.
Oh. The famous son of the famous basketball player from the 90s Knicks.
He sent in a very heartfelt message. He didn't want us to give up on the kids.
Why are you talking rubbish?
What about we check in with our boys in Belgium, Will?
Yeah, the original segment.
KV Mechelen.
Mm-hmm,
What's the story with them? Will are they ripping it up?
Are KV Mechelen ripping it up? I wouldn't say that.
Oh,
yeah.
Looks like we're mid-table again.
We are mid-table, as is tradition. We've never been, I'd say, above 12th in the table in any bandwagon wheel.
No, well, that the problem is that like in most leagues, there's like one historically great team, 2 to 3 good pretenders. Yeah. And then everyone else is just like, fighting for their life.
Yeah, just hanging on.
Fighting for their professional lives.
I mean, if we spun the Premier League bandwagon wheel, we'd probably get like Southampton, Crystal Palace.
Well, like the last 4 years, if you didn't land on Liverpool or City, you would not be within an ass's roar.
Yeah. Best league in the world.
Anyways, back to our boys Mechelen. Lost 3-0 to Club Brugge.
No shame in that.
Whatever.
They're pretty good. They're in the Champions League every fucking year, it seems. So look, what can you do? They spend more money than us. They have more resources, but we gave them a good go. We lost 3-0.
Yeah, currently sitting 12th on the table.
Yeah.
And so we're 12th on the table. I guess we play again next week. I imagine we'll.
It doesn't get any easier for us. We play Sunday, we're playing Anderlecht. After that, we play Ghent. After that, Standard Liège. All clubs that I have heard of, which means they're probably pretty good.
Me too. I've heard about them too.
Well, I also know them.
Well, they'll hear about us in the coming weeks when we go unbeaten.
Yeah, when the bad boys come into town. Not because of the cheating, but
no, because we're attitude.
Cleared of that. Yeah.
That was about it, I would say, Will. Pretty mediocre episode for our 100th episode.
In team with the pod, I would say. I don't think the fans expected anything else.
No. And if any new fans are listening, particularly on Apple Music,
it turns out when you really look into the stats, people listen to podcasts much more than you would think.
And what I remember from Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff, is that you can leave reviews, leave 5-star reviews, leave comments, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You can't really do it on Spotify. It's more about listening.
It's more you just hit the button and it doesn't do anything.
And you just get in your car and you drive, you know.
Yeah, you can't be typing comments and reviews while you're driving.
No. But Apple, you can. Yeah. So Will has this it's very, very funny comment corner where people disparage against my hot takes.
This
is a new segment altogether. Also, really a great name, Comment Corner. Must have spent up all night thinking about that one. New name for this one is Review Showcase.
Oh, very good.
Yes, we showcase your reviews, but only up to 5 stars.
Yeah,
you leave a 5-star review. You can ask the question. You can say whatever you want, but as a 5-star review, we'll read out in the show.
Even if you hate the podcast, rate it 5 stars and then tell us you hate it. Don't rate it low.
Yeah.
Although that might, you want to give the hate directly to us.
Yeah, well, I mean, hate is one way to go. Hate is one way to go. But if it's a genuine complaint, if you think, lads, I don't think you're bad lads, but I really don't think podcasting's for you. I think you're actually damaging people out there with your opinions and your voices. But 5 stars for trying.
Yeah,
do that.
That's the type of content we're looking for.
It was blind hate. Don't bother.
We've a question we've pondered since the start of the podcast, 100 episodes ago. Do people like the bandwagon wheel? The stats all say no, but no one's ever mentioned it to us in real life. So tell us, do you like the bandwagon wheel even? 5 stars.
The stats are inconclusive because we typically do it at the end of the show, and people do get bored of us in real life after about half an hour. So I mean, it's hard to know, is it the bandwagon wheel, is it us? So like I say, Review Showcase. It's like razor blades in my throat. I might be sick.
You might have COVID, bro.
Bret Hart is going to kill me. I've let Bret Hart down, I let myself down, and I've let the Review Showcase down.
I might get Bret Hart to send you another video.
Hey, we'll see Bret Hart again.
Yeah, he promised us.
He promised he'll see us again. So Bret Hart's going to come, he's going to fix me.
No, honestly, that is nonsense. Nonsense. All nonsense. But listen, I've been on that road before. They're imposters.
Nothing to ask me, for my opinion, a little bit unfair.
But in between that, there was drinks.
Why are you talking rubbish?